Alex Martinez wiped sweat from his forehead as the hot sun beat down on the construction site. It was noon in Phoenix, and the summer heat made the air shimmer above the concrete. Alex was tired. He had been working since dawn, lifting heavy tools and helping to build the new complex outside the city. His muscles ached and his throat felt dry despite the water he kept drinking. It was time for lunch. Alex walked to a shady spot under a tall metal beam and sat down on an empty bucket. He pulled out his small lunch bag. Inside was a sandwich, an apple, and one chocolate bar. The chocolate bar was special. It was the last one from his weekly food allowance, and he had been saving it for a day when work felt extra hard. Today was that day. Alex unwrapped his sandwich first and ate it slowly. The city stretched out before him, a maze of tall buildings and busy streets. Far away, he could see the mountains that surrounded Phoenix, their peaks hazy in the distance. The construction site was quiet except for the few workers who had stayed to eat instead of going to the food trucks parked nearby. As Alex finished his sandwich and reached for his apple, he had a strange feeling. Someone was watching him. He looked around and saw a small figure standing in the shadow of a half-finished wall. It was a girl, or at least she looked like one. She wore dirty clothes that were too big for her thin body. A hood covered most of her head, but Alex could see her eyes. They were large and bright, almost glowing in the shadows. Alex stared at her, curious. She didn't look like she belonged at the construction site. There were no other women working today, and she wasn't wearing a hard hat or safety vest. She just stood there, watching him with those strange, bright eyes. Most days, Alex would have ignored her. The city had many homeless people, and workers were told not to give them food or money. But something about this girl was different. She didn't look hungry in a normal way. She looked lost. Alex picked up his apple and took a bite. The girl kept watching him. Her stillness was odd. Most people would look away when caught staring, but she didn't. After a few minutes, Alex couldn't stand it anymore. He stood up, brushed off his pants, and walked toward her. As he got closer, he noticed more strange things about her. Her skin had a silver shine to it, like fish scales catching light. He thought it might be dirt or paint, but it covered all the visible parts of her skin. Her fingers, which poked out from her two long sleeves, were longer than normal human fingers and had an extra joint. Alex blinked, wondering if the heat was making him see things. "Hey," he said when he was a few steps away. "Are you lost? This is a work site. It's not safe without a hard hat." The girl didn't answer. Up close, her eyes were even stranger. They were a deep purple color that Alex had never seen before. They seemed to take in everything about him at once. "Do you speak English?" Alex asked, speaking slower. Still no answer. But she didn't seem scared of him. She just kept looking at him with those purple eyes as if trying to solve a puzzle. Alex sighed and reached into his lunch bag. He pulled out his chocolate bar, his last one for the week. It was slightly melted from the heat but still wrapped in its shiny paper. He broke it in half, being careful not to let it melt on his fingers. "Here," he said, holding out half of the chocolate bar to her. "You look like you could use this more than me." For the first time, the girl moved. She tilted her head, looking at the chocolate with curiosity. Then, slowly, she reached out and took it. Her fingers brushed against his, and Alex noticed they were cool despite the hot day. The girl sniffed the chocolate, turning it over in her hands as if she had never seen anything like it before. Then carefully she took a small bite. The change in her face was instant and amazing. Her eyes widened, and her mouth formed a perfect O of surprise. A smile spread across her face, a smile of pure joy that made Alex smile too. She took another bite, bigger this time, and closed her eyes as she let the chocolate melt in her mouth. "Good, right?" Alex said, laughing a little at her reaction. "It's just chocolate." The girl opened her eyes and looked at Alex with a new expression. It wasn't just curiosity now. It was wonder, as if he had given her something precious beyond words. Alex felt strange. It was just half a chocolate bar, nothing special, but the way she looked at him made him feel like he had done something important. The girl finished her chocolate quickly, licking her fingers clean afterward. Then she did something unexpected. She bowed to him, a formal movement that seemed out of place in her dirty clothes and in the dusty construction site. Before Alex could say anything else, a loud whistle blew, signaling the end of lunch break. He turned toward the sound, and when he looked back, the girl was gone. He looked around but couldn't see where she had gone. It was as if she had vanished into thin air. Weird, Alex muttered to himself. He walked back to where he had left his lunch, ate the other half of his chocolate bar, and returned to work. All afternoon, as he lifted beams and carried tools, Alex thought about the strange girl with the purple eyes and silver skin. He wondered who she was and where she had come from. He wondered why she had acted like chocolate was the most amazing thing in the world. Most of all, he wondered if he would see her again. Alex didn't know it then, but that simple act, sharing his last chocolate bar with a stranger, had just changed his life forever. It had also changed the fate of the entire human race. 3. Days passed. Alex worked, came home to his small apartment, slept, and went back to work. The strange girl didn't return to the construction site, and Alex began to think he had imagined her. Maybe the heat had gotten to him. Maybe he had dozed off during lunch and dreamed the whole thing. On the third night, Alex went to bed early. He was tired from a long day of lifting heavy pipes. His apartment was quiet except for the soft hum of the air conditioner and the distant sounds of the city outside his window. His bedroom was dark except for the blue light of his alarm clock showing 11:30 p.m. Alex fell asleep quickly. He dreamed of purple eyes and silver skin. In the middle of the night, something woke him. Alex opened his eyes and tried to move, but he couldn't. His body felt light, as if he was floating. In fact, he was floating. About a foot above his head, a soft blue light filled the room. It came from the corner where a figure stood watching him. It was her, the girl from the construction site. But she looked different now. She wasn't wearing dirty clothes anymore. She wore a tight-fitting suit that shimmered with colors like oil on water. Her hood was down, showing her face clearly for the first time. She wasn't human. Her ears came to delicate points. Her silver skin glowed softly in the dark room. Those same purple eyes watched him, but now they didn't look lost or curious. They looked confident and in control. Alex tried to speak, but no sound came out. He felt no fear, only surprise and a strange sense that he had known all along that she wasn't human. The girl, no, the alien, raised her hand. Alex floated back down to his bed and found he could move and speak again. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice a whisper in the quiet room. "My name is Lyra Navari," she said. Her voice had a musical quality, like two people speaking at once in perfect harmony. "I am Scout Commander of the Citari Dominion, and you, Alex Martinez, have done something no human has ever done before." Alex sat up in bed, staring at her. "What did I do?" Lyra smiled, the same smile she had given when she first tasted chocolate. "You shared your food with an enemy you didn't know was an enemy. You showed kindness when you had no reason to. And now because of that, I need your help to save your world." The food bank was already busy despite the early hour. People lined up outside, old people, young mothers with children, men in work clothes. Volunteers moved boxes of food from a truck into the building. Everyone was working together quietly, with purpose. Lyra watched everything with intense focus. She stood beside Alex wearing a simple jacket over her strange suit to look more human. Her hood was up again, hiding her pointed ears. In the morning light, her silver skin could pass for very pale human skin, as long as no one looked too closely. "Why do they do this?" Lyra asked softly. "The ones giving the food. What do they gain?" Alex thought about it. "They don't gain anything, really. They just want to help." Lyra shook her head slightly. "There must be some benefit, status, power, future favor." "No," Alex said. "Some do it because of their religious beliefs. Some do it because they were once hungry themselves. Some just think it's the right thing to do." A volunteer approached them, a friendly woman with gray hair. "Are you here for the distribution? We open in 15 minutes, but you're welcome. To wait inside. Before Alex could answer, Lyra stepped forward. "We wish to help," she said. Her voice was carefully controlled to sound more human, without the musical echoes. The woman smiled. "Wonderful. We can always use more hands. I'm Susan. Come on in, and I'll find you something to do." Inside, the building was simple, just a large room with tables full of food. Fruit, vegetables, canned goods, bread, and more were organized neatly. Volunteers moved around, preparing bags and checking lists. Susan gave them both aprons. "Alex, you can help Mike unload the truck. And Lyra," the alien said. "Lyra, you can help pack the fruit bags. 1 apple, 1 orange, and 2 bananas in each, please." For the next 2 hours, they worked. Alex carried boxes and sorted food. Lyra packed fruit with careful precision, examining each piece as if it were a precious gem. When the doors opened and people came in to collect food, Lyra watched their faces closely. An old man thanked her when she handed him a bag. A young mother smiled tiredly as her child waved at Lyra. A teenager who looked like he hadn't slept in days nodded silently when Lyra gave him extra apples. During a quiet moment, Lyra whispered to Alex, "The ones receiving, they feel shame. Why?" Alex nodded. "Some do. They wish they could provide for themselves or their families without help. But the ones giving do not shame them," Lyra observed. "No, good people don't. When their shift ended, Susan thanked them and invited them to come back anytime." As they walked away, Lyra was quiet, thinking, "Is this enough?" Alex asked. "To convince your people?" Lyra shook her head. "It is a start. But we need more. Something bigger." She touched the panel on her wrist, and they disappeared in blue light again. This time, when the world reappeared, they were standing on a hill, overlooking a vast area of burned forest. New green shoots were pushing up through the black ground. Hundreds of people, many of them young, were planting small trees. "Where are we now?" Alex asked. "Oregon," Lyra said. 1 year ago, fires destroyed this forest. Now humans plant new trees." They walked down to join the workers. A man gave them seedlings and showed them how to plant them. For hours they worked, under the hot sun, digging holes and carefully placing tiny trees into the earth. "These trees will take 50 years to grow large," Lyra said as she patted soil around a seedling. "Many of these humans will not live to see them tall." "That's true," Alex agreed, wiping sweat from his forehead. "Then why do they do this? What do they gain?" Alex smiled. "They're not doing it for themselves. They're doing it for the future. For people they'll never meet." Lyra's purple eyes widened slightly. She looked around at the humans working in the burned forest, their hands dirty, their faces tired but determined. "This is very strange behavior," she said. As the day went on, they traveled to more places. They visited a hospital where people donated blood for strangers. They watched volunteers clean trash from a beach. They saw a man jump into a river to save a dog that wasn't his. With each place, Lyra took recordings using a small device on her wrist. She collected images, sounds, and data, and with each place her expression grew more thoughtful. As evening fell, they appeared on a quiet street in a big city. People hurried past, going home after work. Lyra stopped at a small stand selling hot drinks, chocolate. She said to Alex, "I wish to try it again." Alex smiled and bought 2 hot chocolates. They sat on a bench watching the city lights come on as darkness fell. Lyra sipped her drink slowly, savoring it. "Your world has many problems," she said after a while. "The council is not wrong about that. There is much violence here, much waste, much cruelty." "I know," Alex said. "We're not perfect. But there is also—" Lyra seemed to search for the right word. "Goodness. Helping without gain, giving without trade. These things are rare in the galaxy, Alex Martinez. Rarer than you can imagine." She looked up at the darkening sky. "My people evolved in deep oceans, where resources were plentiful but trust was dangerous. We survive by taking what we needed and giving only when we receive something of equal value in return. It has made us strong. It has made us advanced. But there are things we have never learned. Alex watched her face as she spoke. Despite her alien features, he could read her emotions now. Wonder, confusion, and something like sadness. Will it be enough? He asked again. What we've seen today? Lyra shook her head. The Council will say these are small things. Exceptions. They will say that humans still fight wars and pollute their planet. They will say that the risk is too great. Alex felt his hopes sink. Then what can we do? We need something bigger, Lyra said. Something that shows human cooperation on a large scale. Something that proves you can overcome your violent nature when needed. She finished her hot chocolate and stood up. There is one more place we must go today. Blue light surrounded them. Again. When it faded, they were standing on a beach, but not a normal beach. The sand was black and the water that lapped at it was unnaturally still. In the distance, lights from some kind of floating platform glowed in the night. What is this place? Alex asked. The air had a strange smell, like chemicals and salt mixed together. 5 years ago, this was a disaster, Lyra said. A large oil spill, one of the worst in your history. She pointed to the water. Small machines moved across the surface, collecting something. On the beach, people in protective suits worked with special equipment, cleaning the sand. Your people have been working to clean this area for 5 years, Lyra continued. The Centauri evolved from ocean creatures. We hold water ecosystems sacred. When we saw this disaster, it confirmed our worst fears about humans, that you destroy without care. She walked to the water's edge. But we did not continue watching. We did not see this, the cleanup, the effort, the dedication to fix what was broken. A worker approached them frowning. This area is restricted. You shouldn't be here without protective gear. Lyra touched her wrist panel and the worker's expression went blank. He turned and walked away, forgetting they were there. What did you do to him? Alex asked, alarmed. A simple memory adjustment. He will not remember seeing us. Lyra knelt and touched the water gently. Your oceans were once rich with life. They could be again. She stood up and faced Alex. Tomorrow we will visit more places. But tonight, you need rest. Human bodies require sleep. Before Alex could respond, blue light surrounded them again. They reappeared in his apartment. Everything was exactly as he had left it hours ago, though it felt like weeks had passed. I will return at dawn, Lyra said. We have 2 more days, before the fleet arrives. Wait, Alex said as she turned to leave. How do I know this is real? How do I know I'm not just dreaming all this? Lyra tilted her head. Dreams, she said. Another strange human concept. My people do not dream. She reached into a pocket in her suit and pulled out something small. She placed it in Alex's hand. It was a crystal, no bigger than his thumb. It glowed with a soft blue light that pulsed like a heartbeat. This is real, Lyra said. Keep it with you. If you need me before dawn, hold it and speak my name. She stepped back and blue light began to surround her. Sleep well, Alex Martinez. Tomorrow we continue our search for humanity's redemption. Then she was gone, leaving Alex alone in his apartment with the glowing crystal in his hand. He sat on his bed, exhausted but with his mind racing. Had he really spent the day traveling around the world with an alien? Was Earth really about to be destroyed? It seemed impossible. And yet the crystal in his hand was definitely not from Earth. It pulsed with light and rhythm with his heartbeat, as if it were somehow connected to him. Alex placed the crystal carefully on his bedside table. He was too tired to think anymore. He lay down without even changing his clothes and was asleep within minutes. He dreamed of silver skin and purple eyes, of crystal ships and burning worlds. He dreamed of chocolate shared with a stranger who turned out to be much more than she seemed. In orbit above Earth, invisible to human detection systems, Lyra's ship floated silently. Inside, the alien scout commander reviewed the data she had collected. Images of humans helping each other, protecting their planet, working together for no personal gain. She compared these to the data the Council had used to condemn humanity: wars, pollution, cruelty. Alex sat on the edge of his bed staring at Lyra. His mind was racing, trying to understand what was happening. An alien was standing in his bedroom. An alien who had pretended to be a homeless girl 3 days ago. An alien who now said she needed his help to save the world. "I don't understand," Alex said. "Who are you really? What do you mean by enemy? Why do you need my help?" Lyra moved closer. The strange suit she wore seemed to shift colors with each step, like the surface of a soap bubble. "I will explain everything," she said. "But first I need you to know that your world is in danger. Great danger." She raised her hand, and the air in the middle of the room began to glow. A ball of light formed, then expanded into a large floating image. Alex gasped. It was a picture of Earth, as seen from space. Next to Earth were 9 large objects that looked like crystal ships. They were beautiful and terrifying at the same time. "These are the warships of the Ceteri Dominion," Lyra said. "My people. They are currently in the outer part of your solar system, near the planet you call Neptune. In 3 days, they will reach Earth. When they do, they plan to destroy all human life." Alex felt cold despite the warm night. "Destroy all human life? Why? What did we do to you?" Lyra waved her hand again and the image changed. Now it showed scenes of war, pollution, and destruction. "For 50 years the Ceteri have been watching Earth. We have seen your wars. We have seen how you destroy your own planet. We have seen how you treat each other with hate and violence." The images changed again, showing beautiful crystal cities and strange silvery beings like Lyra moving through them. "The Ceteri rule over 1,000 star systems. We bring order to chaos. We eliminate threats before they can grow. And the Dominion Council has decided that humans are a threat." Alex stood up, anger replacing his fear. "So you've been judging us? Deciding if we deserve to live or die? What gives you the right?" Lyra's expression softened. "That is exactly what I asked myself 3 days ago, Alex Martinez. When you shared your chocolate with me, a stranger, who could not benefit you in any way, you made me question everything I had been taught about humans." She came closer to Alex, close enough that he could see tiny patterns in her silver skin, like delicate frost on a window. "You see, in Ceteri culture, nothing is given freely. Everything has a price. Everything is a trade. The idea of helping someone who cannot help you back, it does not exist for us." Alex remembered how amazed she had looked when she tasted the chocolate. It hadn't just been about the taste, it had been about the act itself. "So because I gave you chocolate, you don't want to destroy Earth anymore?" Alex asked, finding it hard to believe. Lyra shook her head. "Not just that. After I met you, I began to look closer at humans. I saw parents caring for children who could not repay them. I saw people helping strangers after accidents. I saw old humans planting trees they would never live to enjoy. These things, they do not fit with what the Council believes about your species." She pointed to the image of the warships. "But I am only one scout commander. I cannot stop the fleet. The Council has already voted. Earth is to be sterilized." "Then why are you here?" Alex asked. "What can I possibly do to help?" Lyra's purple eyes seemed to glow brighter. "I have a plan, but I need a human to help me. Not a leader or a soldier. They would not understand. I need someone who shows the best of what humans can be. I need you, Alex Martinez." Alex laughed, a short, nervous sound. "Me? I'm nobody special. I'm just a construction worker. I live paycheck to paycheck. I don't know anything about aliens or saving the world." "That is exactly why it must be you," Lyra said. "The Council would expect me to contact your leaders or your military. They would expect threats and weapons. They would not expect kindness." Alex ran his hands through his hair, trying to think. Part of him wondered if this was all a dream or if he was losing his mind. But Lyra seemed so real. and the floating images in his room couldn't be explained away. "Let's say I believe you," he said slowly. "Let's say I want to help. What's your plan? How can one construction worker and one alien stop 9 warships?" Lyra touched a panel on her wrist, and the images disappeared. The room was dark again except for the glow of her skin. "My ship is currently in orbit around Earth, disguised as a small asteroid. It can take us anywhere on your planet in minutes. I need to gather evidence, proof that humans are worth saving. And I need you to help me understand what I'm seeing." She held out her hand to Alex. "Will you come with me? Will you help me save your world?" Alex looked at her outstretched hand. Silver skin, extra joints in the fingers, definitely not human. This morning, his biggest worry had been paying his electric bill. Now he was being asked to save the planet. It was crazy. It was impossible. And yet, Alex took Lyra's hand. Her skin was cool and smooth, like touching polished metal. "I'll help you," he said. "I don't know how, but I'll try." Lyra smiled, and for a moment she looked almost human despite her alien features. "Thank you," she said. "Now, we must go. There is much to do and very little time." She pressed another panel on her wrist. A soft humming filled the room, and a blue light surrounded both of them. Alex felt a strange tingling sensation all over his body. He looked down and saw that he was starting to fade, becoming transparent like a ghost. "What's happening?" he asked, trying not to panic. "Transport to my ship," Lyra explained calmly. "Do not worry. It is perfectly safe." The room around them faded away. For a moment, Alex felt like he was floating in darkness. Then new surroundings appeared. They were standing in a round room with walls that glowed with soft light. The floor was made of something that looked like glass but felt warm under Alex's bare feet. Strange symbols floated in the air, changing and moving like living things. "Welcome to my ship," Lyra said. "First, you should dress. We have much to do." She waved her hand, and a panel in the wall opened. Inside were clothes. Human clothes, but made of materials Alex had never seen before. They looked like normal jeans and a t-shirt, but when he touched them they felt strangely alive, as if they might move on their own. "These will protect you and help you blend in," Lyra explained. "They can change temperature to keep you comfortable, and they can change color if needed for camouflage." Alex took the clothes. "Where did you get these?" "I made them," Lyra said simply. "After studying human fashion, are they not correct?" "No, they're fine," Alex said. "Just different." While Alex changed, Lyra went to what looked like the center of the room. She placed her hands on a crystal panel and more images appeared in the air around her. She spoke in a strange language, clicks and musical tones that no human throat could make. When Alex was dressed, he joined her. The floating images showed different places on Earth: cities, forests, oceans. Lyra was flipping through them, quickly searching for something. "What are we looking for?" Alex asked. "Signs of what makes humans special," Lyra said. "The Council has seen your wars and your destruction. I need to show them something else. Something that proves humans deserve a chance." She stopped on an image of a small coastal town. "Here," she said. "We will start here." "What's there?" Alex asked, not recognizing the place. "A human tradition called a food bank," Lyra said, "where people give food to strangers who need it without asking for payment. It is unusual in the galaxy." Alex almost laughed. Something as simple as a food bank was their first stop to save humanity? But then he remembered how amazed Lyra had been by his simple act of sharing chocolate. Maybe to a species that never gave anything for free, a food bank really was extraordinary. Lyra touched the crystal panel again and the humming sound returned. "Ready?" she asked. Alex nodded, though he wasn't sure if he was ready at all. The blue light surrounded them again. The ship faded away, and darkness took its place. Alex closed his eyes. When he opened them, they were standing on a quiet street in what looked like a small town. The sun was just rising, painting the sky pink and gold. The air smelled of salt. They were near the ocean. In front of them was a simple building with a sign that read, Coastal Community Food Share. "We're on the other side of the country," Alex said in wonder. "In seconds." "Distance is not a barrier," Lyra said. "Now show me how this works. Show me why humans share food with strangers." Alex looked at her, still trying to process everything that had happened in the last hour. "You really think this will convince your people not to destroy Earth? A food bank?" Lyra's purple eyes were serious. "One step at a time, Alex Martinez. In 3 days, we must change the minds of beings who have never known kindness without purpose. We start with what I know moved me, the sharing of food." Alex took a deep breath. "Okay," he said. "Let's do this." Together, they walked toward the building as the sun rose higher in the sky. Alex didn't know if a food bank could save the world. But it was a start. And right now, a start was all they had. Alex woke before dawn. The crystal by his bed was pulsing faster now, its blue light filling the room with a soft glow. He reached for it, and the moment his fingers touched the smooth surface, the air in front of him shimmered. Lyra appeared, not in person but as an image made of light. "You are awake," she said. "Good. I am detecting a problem. Another scout ship has entered your solar system ahead of the main fleet. This is not in the mission plan." Alex sat up quickly. "What does that mean?" "It means someone in the Dominion does not trust my reports. They have sent someone to check my work." Lyra's image flickered slightly. "I will transport you to my ship now. We must move quickly." Before Alex could even stand up, blue light surrounded him. His bedroom vanished and he found himself on Lyra's ship again. She stood at the center, her hands moving over crystal panels as symbols and images flashed in the air around her. "Who did they send?" Alex asked, still in his wrinkled clothes. "From yesterday." "Commander Cree," Lyra said, her voice tight. "He is not like me. He has no doubts about the Council's decision. He believes all potentially dangerous species should be eliminated without hesitation." "And humans are considered dangerous?" Lyra looked at him. "Your people have split the atom. You have sent machines beyond your solar system. You fight among yourselves constantly. Yes, by Satori standards, humans are very dangerous." She touched another panel, and a new image appeared. A sleek, dark ship entering Earth orbit. "Cree will begin his own evaluation. If he contacts the fleet with negative findings before I can present my evidence, they may accelerate their attack." Alex felt a cold knot of fear in his stomach. "How much time do we have?" "Less than we thought. The fleet will arrive in approximately 36 hours. Lyra's hands moved faster over the panels. "We need to work faster. Today we will gather more evidence, but we must also find something truly significant, something even Cree cannot dismiss." "What about our governments?" Alex asked. "The military? Shouldn't we warn them?" Lyra shook her head. "That would only make things worse. If Earth's military powers detect the Satari ships and respond with aggression, it will confirm the Council's fears. No, our only hope is to prove that humans deserve a chance, that there is something special about your species worth preserving." She stepped away from the control panels. "There is a cleaning chamber through that door," she said, pointing. "You can refresh yourself there. I have provided new clothes." 10 minutes later, Alex emerged feeling much better. The cleaning chamber had been strange. No water, just fields of energy that somehow left him clean and refreshed. The new clothes fit perfectly and felt even more comfortable than the ones from yesterday. "Where are we going first today?" he asked. Lyra displayed a map of Earth with several points marked in red. "These are the largest ocean restoration projects on your planet. The Satari respect efforts to protect water ecosystems. We will visit them first." Their day became a blur of movement. Blue light, a new location, gathering evidence, then blue light again. They visited coral reef restoration projects in Australia, ocean cleanup efforts in the Pacific, and marine research stations in the Atlantic. At each place, Lyra recorded everything, focusing on the humans working together across nations and cultures to heal the damage done to the oceans. In the afternoon, they appeared at a large underwater habitat off the coast of Florida. It was a research station where scientists studied new methods of growing coral and protecting marine life. Lyra was especially interested in this place, as it combined human technology with respect for ocean ecosystems. "This is good," she said as they toured the facility, pretending to be visiting researchers. "The Council will understand this effort, but it is still not enough." As they walked through a long glass tunnel with the ocean visible all around them, Lyra suddenly stopped. Her body went rigid and her eyes widened. "What's wrong?" Alex asked. "Kree is here," she whispered. "I can sense his presence. He must have detected my interest in this facility." She grabbed Alex's arm and pulled him into a side corridor. "We must leave now." But before she could activate her transport device, a new figure appeared at the end of the corridor. It was another Ceteri, taller than Lyra, and with darker silver skin. Instead of Lyra's purple eyes, his were a cold blue that seemed to pierce right through Alex. He wore a black suit similar to Lyra's, but with symbols on the chest that looked like rank insignia. "Scout Commander Lyra," the newcomer said, his voice deeper and harsher than Lyra's musical tones. "You are in violation of protocol." Lyra stepped in front of Alex, shielding him. "Commander Kree, I am conducting extended research, as is my right." "Kree's," cold eyes fixed on Alex. "You have made contact with a native. You have exposed yourself in our mission. These are serious violations." "I made a discovery that warrants further investigation," Lyra said calmly. "This human has shown qualities that contradict our previous assessment of their species." Kree moved closer, his movements fluid and predatory. "I have reviewed your transmissions to the fleet. Sharing of food, planting trees, cleaning oceans. These are meaningless gestures compared to their history of violence." "They are not meaningless," Lyra argued. "They show potential. They show capacity for change." "The Council has voted," Kree said firmly. "Earth is to be sterilized. You're sentimental. Observations will not change that." Lyra stood her ground. "I request formal review of new evidence before action is taken. It is my right as Scout Commander." Kree's expression hardened. "Very well. You have 12 hours to present your case directly to the Fleet Command. But the human comes with me. Your judgment has been compromised by contact with the natives." "No," Lyra said. "He is part of my evidence. I need him to explain human motivations that we do not understand." The two aliens stared at each other in silent confrontation. Alex could feel the tension between them like electricity in the air. Finally, Kree spoke again. "You have until the fleet arrives. Then the human will be taken into custody, and you will face discipline for protocol violations." He stepped back. "I will be watching your movements, Lyra. Do not attempt to interfere with my own evaluation." With that, Kree disappeared in a flash of dark purple light. Lyra's shoulders sagged slightly once he was gone. "This is not good," she said. "Kree has direct access to the Fleet Command. He will present his own evidence against humans." "What happens now?" Alex asked. "Now we need something more convincing than anything we've seen so far." Lyra touched her wrist panel. "We need to find the most remarkable example of human cooperation and compassion on your planet." They transported again, this time appearing in a small room filled with monitoring equipment. Screens showed different places around the world. "Where are we?" Alex asked. "A monitoring station on my ship," Lyra explained. "From here, we can observe many locations at once." She moved her hands over the controls and the images changed rapidly. "I am searching for something specific, something that shows humans at their best." For hours they watched. They saw disasters where people risked their lives to save strangers. They saw massive projects where thousands worked together toward common goals. They saw small acts of kindness multiplied across the world. "This is good," Lyra said, "but Kree will dismiss it. He will say these are exceptions, not the rule." Alex thought hard. "What about our space programs?" Humans from different countries working together in space? Lyra considered this. That has potential. The Centauri respect space exploration. She changed the images to show the International Space Station and the lunar bases that had recently been established. This is better, she said. It shows cooperation beyond planetary boundaries. It shows vision beyond immediate gain. She was about to say more when an alarm sounded. One of the screens flashed red. What's happening? Alex asked. Lyra's face showed concern. Kree is attacking the underwater research station. He claims he found weapons research there, a threat to the Centauri. That's not true, Alex protested. It's a scientific research station. Kree sees threats everywhere, Lyra said grimly, and now he has evidence to support immediate action. She touched her wrist panel. We must return there at once. Blue light surrounded them again, and they reappeared in the underwater station. But now alarms were blaring and people were running in panic. Water was spraying from cracks in the walls of the tunnel. The station is flooding, Alex said in horror. Kree damaged it? Yes, Lyra confirmed, to create evidence of human vulnerability and danger. She scanned the area with a small device. Kree is still here, this way. They ran through the corridors, helping evacuate people as they went. The station was breaking apart, with more leaks appearing by the minute. Most of the staff had reached emergency escape pods, but some were still trapped in the lower levels. Lyra led Alex to a large laboratory where the worst damage was occurring. Water was pouring in through a massive crack. In the glass wall, and equipment floated in the rising water. In the center of the chaos stood Kree, watching calmly as the station collapsed around him. When he saw Lyra and Alex, his cold blue eyes narrowed. This is what humans create, he said. Fragile structures that fail catastrophically. This proves they are not ready for advanced technology. You caused this damage, Lyra accused. You endangered innocent lives to support your conclusion. Alex woke up coughing, water spilling from his mouth. His head throbbed and his lungs burned. He was lying on the floor of a small room he didn't recognize. The walls were smooth and silvery, with strange patterns that seemed to move if he looked at them too long. He is awake, said a familiar voice. Lyra's face appeared above him, her purple eyes filled with concern. What happened? Alex asked, his voice rough. The station and the people. They are safe, Lyra said. The emergency systems were activated in time. Alex tried to sit up and felt a sharp pain in his side. Where are we? On my ship, Lyra explained. I transported you here after the section flooded. You were injured. Memories came back in flashes. The water rushing in, the alarms blaring, people screaming. And then... Kree, Alex said. What happened to him? Lyra's expression changed, becoming more serious. He was caught in the flood. His environmental suit was damaged. Is he dead? No, but he was in danger. Lyra hesitated, then continued. You saved him, Alex. Alex frowned in confusion. I don't remember that. You were barely conscious, Lyra said. But when you saw him trapped under fallen equipment, you swam to him. You freed him from the debris even as the water rose. It was unexpected. Alex had no memory of this, but it didn't surprise him. He would have tried to help anyone in danger, even someone like Kree. Where is he now? Here, said a new voice. Kree stepped into view, looking different than before. His black suit was gone, replaced by a simpler gray one. His cold blue eyes were now thoughtful as they studied Alex. You saved my life, human. Why? Alex tried to think of a profound answer, but the truth was simple. You needed help, I could give it. That's all. Kree tilted his head, much like Lyra often did when confused by human behavior. I had just sabotaged your facility. I endangered your people. I openly support the elimination of your species. Yet you risked your life to save mine. Explain. There's nothing to explain, Alex said, wincing as he finally managed to sit up. I wouldn't leave anyone to die if I could help them. Kree looked at Lyra. Is this common human behavior? Yes, Lyra said. That is what I have been trying to show you. Humans help even when there is no benefit to themselves, even when there is risk, even when the one they help is an enemy. Cree was silent for a long moment. The council would not believe this without evidence. We have evidence, Lyra said. She waved her hand and a holographic image appeared. The underwater station, the flooding lab, and Alex, barely conscious but still swimming toward a trapped Cree. You recorded it, Alex said. Of course, Lyra replied. I record everything. It is my job. Cree studied the recording, his face unreadable. This changes things, he finally said. Not everything, but some things. He turned to Alex. Your species is still violent, still wasteful, still dangerous in many ways. I know, Alex admitted. We have a lot to learn, a lot to fix, but we're trying. Yes, Cree said slowly. You are trying. That is unusual. He looked at Lyra. The fleet will reach Earth orbit in 6 hours. I will join you in presenting this evidence to the Council. Lyra's eyes widened in surprise. You will support my recommendation for non-interference. I will support a delay of the sterilization order, Cree clarified. A probationary period for further evaluation, nothing more. Even this small concession seemed to please Lyra. Thank you, Commander. Cree nodded stiffly, then left the room without another word. Alex let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. Does this mean Earth is safe? Not yet, Lyra said, but our chances have improved. With both Cree and myself advocating for delay, the Council will at least consider the evidence before acting. She helped Alex to his feet. His clothes were dry, though he couldn't remember changing them. Some settery technology, no doubt. You should rest, Lyra said. Your injuries are minor, but need time to heal. There's no time, Alex insisted. You said the fleet arrives in 6 hours. We need to prepare. Lyra smiled. That same smile of wonder she had shown when first tasting chocolate. You humans never stop surprising me. Even injured, you think of others. She led him to the center of her ship, where more holographic displays showed the Earth below and the approaching Satari fleet. The 9 crystal ships were now visible, massive structures that dwarfed any human spacecraft. They moved in perfect formation, their crystalline surfaces reflecting the light of the sun. They are beautiful, Alex said. Yes, Lyra agreed. Beautiful and deadly. Each ship carries enough power to destroy a continent. She touched several panels, and the displays changed to show all the evidence they had gathered over the past 2 days. The food banks, the reforestation projects, the ocean cleanup efforts, the space programs, and now, the recording of Alex, saving Cree. We will transmit all of this to the fleet, Lyra explained. We will request a full council hearing before any action is taken. Alex watched the images, seeing his world through alien eyes, all the small acts of kindness, all the efforts to fix past mistakes, all the cooperation and compassion that humans showed each other daily. Would it be enough? Hours passed as Lyra prepared their case. Cree returned briefly to add his own observations, his tone formal but no longer hostile. Alex rested and recovered, watching the Earth turn peacefully below, unaware of the threat looming above. Finally, Lyra announced, "The fleet has arrived. The council is connecting now." The center of the ship darkened and new figures appeared, not physically present but projected from the distant ships. 7 Seteri, older than Lyra and Cree, with elaborate silver markings on their skin and formal robes that seemed to be made of living crystal. Their eyes were different colors, purple, blue, green, gold, all watching Alex with cold curiosity. Scout Commander Lyra, one of them said, a female with green eyes. Explain your request for delay. The vote has been taken. Earth is scheduled. For sterilization. Lyra stepped forward, her posture straight and formal. Honored Council, I have discovered evidence that contradicts our assessment of human potential. I ask that you review this evidence before proceeding. We are aware of your transmissions, said another council member, a male with gold eyes. Food sharing, tree planting, ocean restoration. These are minor virtues compared to their flaws. There is more, Lyra insisted. She gestured, and the recording of Alex saving Kree played for all to see. The council watched in silence. When the recording ended, the green-eyed female spoke again. Commander Kree, you were present for this event. Is the recording accurate? Kree stepped forward. It is, Counselor. The human saved my life despite knowing I was his enemy. He endangered himself to help me when there was no benefit to him in doing so. One human, said a council member dismissively. One incident. Not just one, Lyra countered. She showed more recordings. A firefighter running into a burning building to save a stranger. A doctor working without pay in a poor village. A child sharing their lunch with a classmate who had none. These behaviors are common, Lyra explained. Not universal, but widespread. Humans help each other and other species when done without calculation of gain. The council members conferred among themselves in the Sitari language, clicks and musical tones that Alex couldn't understand. Finally, the green-eyed female spoke again. We will consider a probationary period, she said. Earth will be monitored for 20 of their years. If they show progress in reducing conflict and environmental damage, the sterilization order will be permanently canceled. And if they continue their self-destructive behaviors, added the gold-eyed male, the order will be carried out without further debate. Lyra bowed deeply. Thank you, honored council. I believe humans will surprise you as they have surprised me. The council members vanished, leaving the three of them alone again. Lyra turned to Alex, her purple eyes bright with emotion. 20 years, she said. It is a chance more than I hoped for. Alex felt relief wash over him, but also a new weight of responsibility. They'll be watching us, judging everything we do. Yes, Lyra confirmed. The Sitari do not give second chances lightly. You must make this one count. How? Alex asked. I'm just one person. How can I make humanity change fast enough? Lyra touched his hand gently. Her silver skin was cool against his. The same way you changed my mind, one act of kindness at a time. Kree, who had been silent, now spoke. I will remain in your solar system as primary observer. I will report on human progress regularly. He looked directly at Alex. I am still not convinced your species deserves to survive. Prove me wrong. With that, Kree disappeared in a flash of purple light. Lyra sighed. He will be a harsh judge, but a fair one. If humans impress Kree, they will impress anyone. And what about you? Alex asked. Will you stay too? Lyra's expression grew sad. I cannot. Scout commanders are not permitted to maintain contact with evaluated species. I must report to the Dominion Central Worlds for debriefing. So this is goodbye, Alex said, feeling a strange emptiness at the thought. For now, Lyra said, but I have requested assignment as a cultural liaison if Earth passes its probation. In 20 years we may meet again. She moved to the control panels of her ship. It is time to return you home, Alex Martinez. You have a world to help save. Alex knew she was right. But leaving was harder than he expected. In just 3 days, his entire view of the universe had changed. He had seen his own world through alien eyes and found it both flawed and